Okay, in today's video, I have a special guest, this guy right here, Dan Martin. He's gonna give me a lesson using the Pro. Let's go. Okay, so I'm with Dan Martin, and I'll leave a link to his channel below and the Pro we're gonna use, and I'll leave a link for that too. So everything's below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already.
All right.
You know the drill.
All right, well, let's get started here.
All right.
So Matt, you've obviously you've done a little bit with the training aid here, and so I want to just give you a little bit more coaching and instruction on how to use this and get the maximum benefit out of this.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so most golfers, you're a good golfer, so I mean, this is going to be a tool that's going to really help a golfer that's probably struggling.
Okay.
It can help anybody, but first and foremost, golfers really struggle with impulse and not really understanding how a swing functions. So that's
right.
one of the things we can talk about today. And then just going to teach you kind of how do you use your Pro to see where you're kind of messing up in your golf swing,
okay.
and learn how to bypass some of the impulses that make it very difficult to strike a golf ball.
Awesome.
Okay. So
I usually use it incorrectly.
Yes.
As you've seen in my videos.
Yes, definitely. So the first thing we'll talk about here. So I'll just put this in your hand. Go ahead and just swing it back over your shoulder. So when you bring this back around, one of the things we want to do, we have to keep our eyes on what's going on here. So most golfers look down because the ball's down there.
Yeah.
And we need to kind of feel our swing when the ball's down there. But to learn about your swing is how it comes around. So the Pro creates error detection by showing an angle between the grip and the rope joint.
Right.
So anytime that's happening,
okay.
we're not swinging, or we're applying a force that's destructive to the swing. And with a golf shaft, so I take one of your golf clubs here, this is not going to show you error unless you hit the ball poorly, right?
Right.
So I'm wondering, well, where is error happening? How is it happening? Well, if I can if my Pro looks like a golf club when I'm swinging it, things are happening really well. But because the Pro is a pliable shaft of a rope, it has to have the right physics at all times. So a swing is an action or a continuous motion that's driven by your chest center and then flows outward through your arms and then around your wrist joints. So you kind of have a double system here. And so when we can keep this straight, we know this whole system is working really well together, and then we can learn how to actually speed that up and make that go faster. Okay. So first step when you're swinging your Pro, I'm going to have you do, I don't want you to hold it and assume you're going to get into a golf grip position. You're going to have to break some rules in golf, okay?
Okay.
So the first rule I'm going to break is it's okay for my arms to bend a little bit, and I want to learn how to get the Pro on the back of my shoulder. So think of like, hey, I'm going to use a little bit of a daily swing instead of a JB Holmes or a John Rahm swing.
Okay.
So I don't want to have this rigidity. That doesn't mean those guys aren't swinging. It just means because the design of this, to understand the physics, I have to have looseness. Okay. So once you get it back here, I want you to let it get all the way back on your back, and I want you to let it bend. And then your first job is going to be, don't grab. I want you to hold it almost like you're playing a flute. If you've ever played a flute, I don't know, but something like that. So so I'm gonna have it really lightly in my fingers.
Okay.
All right, and then when you're swinging, we're going to want to bring that around the top, and we're going to see if we can kind of drag this off my back using my turning action such that my arm will kind of come outwards. But the main thing I want to watch is if this thing is bending. Okay. So let's go ahead and have you take that back slowly. Okay, good. So yeah, you're gonna go a little farther. Now turn your head back and look.
Oh yeah.
Let this go a little bit. This needs to, there we go. Okay, good. Now, as we start back, we're almost kind of pulling back towards your camera there and turning at the same time. So we're gonna learn how to throw this thing up here.
Gotcha.
So I can just feel that your hands kind of want to grab here.
Yeah.
And now when I'm holding a golf club, some of that pressure is okay because there's more weight, but now I've got something that's really kind of fragile, if you will, okay? And then I'm gonna keep this straight. So I'm never going to have to use these muscles here if I'm doing this correctly.
Okay.
So I'm going outward and around, and then this thing's gonna come around, and it's going to stay straight. Okay. Now, it's an action, so I can't just put you in positions. You have to kind of feel this and watch it. So don't look down, look back.
Oh, I forgot.
I know, isn't that hard?
Okay.
Good. Now, that's usually what most people do. They try to throw it up.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm throwing it up.
So casting does not make it go straight. It temporarily will straight, then it topples, okay?
Yeah.
So it's different. So I'm going to have you do this. Take your lead arm off.
Okay.
We're just going to hold this with one arm. This is the easiest way to learn how to get this to go. Now, can you throw a ball?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm pretend this is a ball. I'm going to use my chest and kind of make a sidearm throw. If I'm throwing, this is staying back, this is staying internal, and this will drag back.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So let's see if we can kind of go one arm and see if we can line that up. Good. Yeah.
That's a totally different feeling. Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. So now you're starting to learn how to swing the Pro.
I feel like it helps me keep my wrist angle.
Perfect.
Here, I mean, that's what it feels like. But my thought would be if I pull and hold the angle is what I want to do.
Right. So you don't hold, and if your physics are correct in a golf swing, lag or angle, so let's use your golf club.
Okay.
Here, lag angle is caused by a series of events. Okay, so if I'm coming down from my golf swing, when I start to rotate my chest, it starts to pull my arms with it as a system. Lag angle is caused by this speeding up.
Yeah.
So if this is accelerating, this will pull back.
Right.
Now, because I'm using a rope and a grip and this unique alignment of objects, it does that. And so you start to learn that lag is created by forward rotation, or your initial turn back towards the ball is where lag should happen. Like, I'm a fake lagger. I tend to like bounce it a little bit, thinking that's helping. A lot of people do that, but that actually, I've learned that if I actually have less with the golf club, I gain more on the way down. So now again, my pro is a little different because it's pliable, but this is our first step. There you go. So you're starting to learn, okay, as this is moving, I don't need to use my wrist.
No.
My wrist holds back. It's when things slow down is when the energy transfers from the first moving principle to the second one. And then you get that advantage of massive amount of acceleration from angular momentum.
And I could feel internal here more than ever. Like, I don't never feel that.
That's right.
In a swing, I feel definitely.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you heard old school teachers talk about sidearm throw, skipping a stone?
And I love that Lee Trevino kind of action at impact.
That's exactly right. Now, when I get that lead arm on there, it becomes a little more difficult. When I have freedom here, I have to really it's a really centered movement around your chest center. Okay. So, but first thing when you're learning to use your pro, that's the first thing you got to figure out. How on earth, what does it feel like when it's straight? Once I got that going, now I've got a model that I can start to kind of work off of.
Okay.
And as I become more and more skilled at it, you're going to start learning how the body kind of reacts to create these movement patterns.
So am I two hands now?
Yeah, you just go two hands.
But feel the same thing.
And again, I want you to hold it really light too, though. Okay. Because your hand muscles, I mean, all it takes is a grab to really like start to put the. So you can almost hold it in your fingertips if you want. Yeah, much better. That probably felt way different than you've ever used it. See, you like most people, what happens when I'll just stop you for a second. What happens when you pick up a golf club? What do you feel most prevalently? Do you feel the handle or the weight?
I feel the head.
The head. Okay, so what's the easiest way to move the head? Use the handle.
Yeah.
Leverage.
Right.
Leverage is not what I want on a golf swing, okay? So what I want is I want a swing and a swing goes around at one singular pivot point, like a playground swing. Okay, so when you pick up your golf club, if I try to move the weight, well, the easiest way to move the weight is I start pressing on the shaft, okay?
Yeah.
So I don't want to react to the weight. I want to swing my hands. I like Eddie Marin, swing the handle. So this is something I'm starting to feel with the pro is that, okay, yeah, it's not about using the weight. If everything is in line, the whole thing is swinging at the same time. And that is what a really good golfer does. That when you try to kind of throw your hands out.
I felt that
different. And that's important though, because these are the things that people need to be aware they're doing. And so as I start to work with the pro, I go that. Now, the other thing I'll tell you don't have to go fast.
Okay.
Try not to think like I'm making a golf swing. Why don't I just worry about getting it straight and see what kind of emerges? Okay. Because swings happen in all types of rates of speed and whatnot.
Are these? I'm doing all these wrong.
These are all they're all wrong. They're all better though. So
Dan only says yeah when I do it right.
Yeah, the first time you do it was like, okay, wait a second. Now Matt needs a little bit of education on this. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just like, okay, that's not the point of swinging this. And it's hard with two hands. Can you feel like it's like finding where my connection point? So there's a rhythm to this too. So a good golfer doesn't overlead their swing. They have to cause it to move. Okay. And so when you're at the top of the swing, you got to wait for it, and it needs to get on your back a little bit more. And this always helps a lot. So go ahead and go back. It helps if it kind of finds here. There. Now, as I start to rotate, that's going to sling that thing into a straight.
The rotation slings it.
That's right. And so you have to kind of find where can I feel how my motion creates force. And again, it's not easy actually. As I've said in other things, in videos I shot and coaching, if a drill is difficult, it's worth doing. Right.
Am I doing any of these?
These are way better. Okay.
They're not. Now the other thing we perfect.
But you're not throwing the angle right now, which is great. Now, the other thing is tension. The more stretch it has, the more velocity it potentially has. Okay. So how could I move that I created more tension? Well, instead of trying to go like this, can you turn a little bit more connected with your motion? So this needs to work more together.
Yeah, because I definitely am one of these guys.
You're trying to get ahead. Now, when you're doing one arm, it's easy to get ahead.
Okay.
So when I'm doing two, it's hard to feel. I keep wanting to kind of make, like a lot of players try to like shift their weight ahead of their swing. They actually aren't rotating. Better. A little slower. Better. There you go.
Weight on it.
Well, that's so much better.
Okay.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of the angle out of it now. That's what I'll guide you is that you're a good golfer and you really kind of know how to use your lower body. So now if you didn't, this would be really phenomenal, but you're trying to do some moves that are relevant to the forces that you would feel and the inertia you have to overcome with the golf club.
Yeah.
So inertia actually, as the club changes directions, the inertia it takes to kind of overcome the weight, it makes us stimulate our hips more. This isn't heavy, is it?
No.
Super light. So I don't have to drive so hard. I don't want you to think about your lower body. I want you to think about my lower body is a driver for my upper. When I'm training with my pro, let me grab that for a second, I don't need to try so hard. So I want to focus a little bit more on this system here as a unit. This can be a little bit more passive. And I want to swing it slow. The slower I can go, the better. That's how I really learn how to do this. So if I try to go fast, once I'm good at it, I can, but I want to go as slow as I can while still creating some energy. Better, like that.
Okay.
So I love players, take it back one more time. Try to feel like this goes a little bit outward as you make your rotation, okay? Part of the reason is this bend? Yeah, so this kind of needs to get thrown out a little bit. So as I start to rotate, my arm would naturally come outwards. As long as I'm not adding this, trying to find the weight, I start to get the connection there. So I want to feel like this has about a lot of tension there.
Gotcha.
The more I can create early, the better.
Okay, so I feel like I'm creating more width as I'm...
exactly. So try to get ahead of it, feel like it's in a round action. Well, if I'm with a lot of players, good players particularly tend to pull down a little bit and get stuck inside. Don't they?
Oh yeah,
almost
I do
everybody that learns golf. Those are way better, except for that when you threw it. So it's kind of like I'm moving my hands in a circle, but my hand shape isn't changing. That make sense?
No.
Actually, does it make sense? Are you good at it?
So
no.
Say that again. The circle part.
So once I've got this set here, all I'm doing is my hands have a shape to them. So they're loaded back. In a kind of that throwing position. Okay. Now all I have to do is if I just move this by turning, the energy should go back up into the weight. If I try to force something else to happen at the same time,
then I'm out of sync.
Then I'm out of sync with it.
Got it.
So I don't have a functioning swing. That's way better.
Okay.
Not as good. Feel the difference between those two? Okay. And again, it's error detection is what I want. I want to notice when I'm screwing up. So that's why my eyes need to be kind of trailing and really seeing what's happening. It also helps develop your balance because when our ear lines start to change a little bit looking at something in motion, it's like, whoa.
Getting dizzy.
That's beautiful.
Okay, that's
so much better. There you go.
Okay.
Now you're in sync with yourself. We video this right now. You're going to watch. Your chest and your arm system are working together beautifully.
Okay. Turn this way.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Way better.
And then when I want to hit balls.
Yeah, and so now when I hit balls, well, now if you want to take a few swings here, take a few practice swings first. Club's going to feel different, first of all.
I feel different already.
I promise.
Might pass out. I'm a little dizzy. No.
You don't have to watch your club. Although I'm a big advocate of people actually watching their club when they practice as well.
Okay.
Because it helps with the picture.
Oh my gosh.
Now, do you need to go back as far? No, I don't. Okay, so
that feels weird.
Everything goes back to the same spot as I normally would swing, but can I have the intention now of swinging in that same kind of idea? There.
Oh, that feels weird.
Do you feel the club want to go?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Very good.
Okay.
Now, good golfer like yourself, I mean, again, we may be finding like real nuanced things, but if you struggle with golf and you don't understand how it works, I mean, it's like a must. Having a pro
I do pull down in here quite a bit.
So so for a player like yourself, we can start to really work on it's going to help us with the plane in our path, and we can actually maybe explore with the impact reminder as well, so we can start to develop swing plane.
Same smooth motion?
Yeah. Yeah, whatever happens, you know, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Yeah, the Pro is, you know, it's an exploration device to a large degree. So there's not like a right or a wrong in what you're doing.
Right. Okay.
It's more, okay, do I sense things in when I'm swinging with my golf club after training with this that are,
yeah,
well, you know, I probably shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
There you go.
Oh, that was good.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, that felt good. I really felt like that got out here.
Yeah, good. Exactly. So yeah, there's areas of the swing we haven't explored.
No.
That will be that you'll start to trace when you swing your Pro. Better.
Almost.
So
that's cool.
So there you have it. So yeah, after hitting a few golf balls and whatnot.
Right.
But I mean,
it's a couple more.
Yeah, it's more like the day in, day out of working on this and just improving my swing sequence. And every day you kind of need a reminder. So those are a little bit bent.
Okay.
See if you can kind of soften it up a little bit with the hands. And again, you can literally grip it like it's falling out of your your hands. It's so difficult to not use your wrist muscles. There, that was better.
Oh yeah, felt that one.
Yeah, there you go.
So
you're learning quickly. This is awesome.
There's a piece you feel where I feel like I need to keep accelerating.
Yes, exactly. You're correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it's locked in and straight, I go as hard as I want.
Then I could go.
It's all controlled. Okay. Yeah. It's all together. Now your golf club you don't have to wait for the recoil or the bend.
Right.
So again, the difficulty with the Pro is I have to do things that maybe I'm a little unaccustomed to. Which I won't need to do in my golf swing. So you can still set your backswing same spot, but it's the same intent of using my turn to drive the swing without helping or assisting the swing.
Oh, jeez.
So that one was if that was the Pro, that thing would have bent like crazy.
Well, it's funny that. Yeah, if I do the same thing as the Pro, I hit pretty good shots. Mm-hmm. If not, then it's a better.
But just in my trained eye and watching you kind of move, I can see these impulses to moreover for you to like get ahead of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Instead of really being in sync with the swing, you know, and you're under the gun now or doing a lesson that's on camera and whatnot. You want to hit great shots, but it's learning that those impulses are showing up when I'm swinging this.
Yeah.
And it shows up as a very simple visual cue as an angle between the grip and the rope. And the better I get at swinging with keeping this in there, then it's a matter of learning how to run it in. So I can actually practice with my impact reminder.
Yeah. And I love how it has I feel that tension once I'm out here. And that's when I know, like in my swing, I feel like, hey, if I'm in that position, I can just release and go.
Absolutely. In fact, it releases itself. That's the whole benefit. The swing system as your center turns and swings your arms, you're done. Everything else is releasing a golf swing. Anything else you add is not helping. You may think it is, you may think it's going to go farther, but that's just the reality of a swing, and that's a difficult discipline to overcome. And if you don't understand it, it's hard to find it with your golf club. It's hard even to teach that without having some sort of a model to work with.
Right.
So
awesome.
Well, cool. I hope they found that helpful, and you know, you'll start training with your Pro correctly.
There you go.
It'd be fun to check in with you in like a month or so after working with your Pro more
so
often.
I'm going to keep working on the Pro because I like the feeling in here, and I love when I'm swinging my club that feeling in this position. So I'm going to keep working on it, get better, and we'll see how it goes. But get yourself a Pro. Links are in the description below. Dan, thanks for helping me out. I need all the help I can get.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
appreciate it, Matt. Thanks.